Go ahead and bring in our CBS Sports NBA and our basketball analyst. There he is, Avery Johnson, NBA champion and also Coach of the Year. Avery, let's go ahead and get your thoughts here on the All-Star game. What's your biggest takeaway? For me, it's got to be Jayson Tatum, right? Tatum going for double nickel 55 tonight?
Absolutely. Jayson Tatum was sensational. He was phenomenal just on the offensive end because as we saw in this game tonight, there was no defense played with either team. But that's here today, gone tomorrow. That's for another conversation. But Jayson Tatum was spectacular. Even his teammate, Jalen Brown, was, terrific on the opposing team. But when you look at Jayson Tatum, it really showed, with his skill set coming out of Duke from St. Louis, this kid is sensational. He lost in the NBA Finals last year. He's got the three-point shot, the mid-range. He could take the ball to the basket. I'm sure his son was having an awesome time tonight. But it was the Jayson Tatum show. Also, Donovan Mitchell was back in Utah where he played before he got traded to the Cleveland Cavaliers. Those guys combined for 95 points tonight. But Jayson Tatum showed that he's the guy that once a guy like LeBron James retire, the NBA is going to be in great hands.
You were just talking about Jayson Tatum. Of course, he had the 55 tonight. You mentioned Jalen Brown. He had 35. So the two Celtic stars combining for 90. What did you make of them going back and forth there towards the end of the third quarter? Nice little moment, especially for the Celtics fans in Beantown there.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of all-star memories where players go back and forth. But in the past, those players were going against the East versus the West. With the new format, now, with LeBron and Giannis picking teams before the game, you could be on the same team with a player, but at the same time, playing the all-star game on opposite teams. So it was pretty cute to see those guys going back and forth. It really showed the extreme level of confidence and talent that those guys have. And that's why, the Boston Celtics are the reigning Eastern Conference champions because they got two of the top players in all of the NBA.
All right, Avery, let's turn our attention to what's going on in the NBA as we move away from the NBA All-Star game. Of course, the big topic heading into the All-Star break was KD and, Kyrie talking about believing trade requests. They are good for the NBA. I go back to 2008 in the Olympics, LeBron and those guys there. He teams up with Bosh and D. Wade. Of course, he had the decision in 2010, so a couple of years later there to have a big three, the Heatles down in Miami. You got this player empowerment movement going on in the NBA. Can this really be good for the NBA? I say yes. Avery, what do you say? All news is good news.
Player empowerment movement is good when it's the players involved and it benefits the players. But obviously, in terms of ownership, is not as good, and that's going to be addressed in a new collective bargaining agreement. The one thing I will say is players from my generation, we're proud that we went on strike and we lost a lot of money so that players today can have the empowerment that they have and the flexibility to move around from team to team and have full autonomy to do what they're doing today. But I wonder in the future when their player collective bargaining between the owners and players, are they going to have the same flexibility moving forward? And that's something that remains to be seen.
Definitely a topic we will be talking about this year and years going forward into the future. Avery, want to get your thoughts here on the NBA Finals. Who's your pick to win the NBA Finals? You look out east, you got the Celtics. Won it last year, the Eastern Conference, trying to get back to the NBA Finals for the second straight year. Sixers playing well out there as well. We know about what the Bucks can do. They won it a couple of years ago. Out west, you got the Warriors, defending champs. KD with the Suns now. And then you got the Nuggets, who played well, the top team out west. Who's your pick to win the NBA Finals this year in 2023?
Well, if the Bucks are healthy, I like the Bucks to beat the Celtics in Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals. But overall, if the Phoenix Suns are healthy, that's a big if. Health is the great neutralizer of any sport. But I love the Suns. Chris Paul if he's ready to go. Kevin Durant added him to this team. Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton. I think they have the depth, the size, the flexibility. Now, Monty Williams makes a move to push them across the finish line, especially if he's coaching in the finals against a coach like, Mike Budenholzer from the Milwaukee Bucks in a rematch of the finals 2 years ago. So Kevin Durant, outstanding player. I think this trade was a once-in-a-lifetime situation where a new ownership is coming in and they have a chance to trade for one of the top 3 players in the NBA. So I got the Phoenix Suns, but they have to be healthy. If Chris Paul is injured, if Devin Booker's out with a hamstring situation, if Kevin Durant's not ready to go, they're not going to win the championship. But if they all are healthy and ready to go, I have them winning the championship.
Yeah, Katie, soon to be back with that knee. Of course, he did work out in practice with the Suns last week. He is Avery Johnson, our CBS Sports basketball analyst. Avery, have a good one. Thank you, buddy.
Okay, thanks.
And here's the odds to win the NBA Finals 2023, and it's still the Celtics. They've been at the top basically all season, plus 325. And there you can see the big jump. After getting KD right before the trade deadline, the Suns now plus 450. You can see the Bucks won it a couple of years ago, plus 475. Nuggets top team out west now, plus 700. And then also in the top 5, the Sixers. Joel Embiid and Philly playing pretty well. Hottest team in the league right now, plus 1,100.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.